Hello, everybody watching on the live stream. We're live on the TikTok and on the YouTube, although people on the TikTok won't be able to necessarily see the video that we're going to be watching together. I wanted to live stream this because, I hadn't done a live stream in a while. I felt like it. I wanted to talk about something, had some free time. Um, I think we're gonna watch together a video that I remember going over quite a few times when I was younger. It's called "What Happens at a Kingdom Hall," and I'm sure many people remember this video. It's a video that you would show in the ministry, but not like in the very beginning. That's the first thing you show someone. This would be a video that you show somebody a few visits in or a few days into your study, something like that, to encourage them to attend a meeting. They'd say, I don't know, I've never been to a Kingdom Hall, I've never been to a meeting. Well, then you show them this video. Oh, look, this is what it looks like. I hope I'm coming through clearly in the sound and the video for YouTube. You never know, it's a shot in the dark sometimes. I'm ready. I've got my notepad for notes. Lots of notes. I've got my Kroger brand LaCroix. So we're good there. Let's present this video and watch it a little bit. Of course, we're live on the YouTube and on the TikTok, both under Colder Pizza. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe in all manners. Let's watch this. By the way, this is just like triggering in a way to watch this like this Kingdom Hall, this zoom out. It's like, oh, the reminders of having to get up, get ready for the meeting, and do all this is like, oh my gosh, it's such a traumatizing for me. Let me lower the volume a little bit on my laptop. There we go.
All around the world, people come together every week at places of worship called Kingdom Halls.
And less so every year because they are selling off Kingdom Halls. They're selling lots of their assets. They build a hall, they sell it within 10, 15, 20 years. It's sad the amount of work that people are putting into these halls just for the organization to just get rid of it and use it to invest and build more properties just to sell. So it's really this huge real estate conglomerate, this big business. It's insane that people don't look into that.
Have you ever wondered what happens inside a Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses?
I don't think most people ever wonder about what happens inside a Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses. I think most people drive by it on their way to like, Walmart or something, and they go, oh, look, that's where the cult members are. That's where these crazy people who knock on my door, that's where they're at. Este says, hello, Este. Welcome to the live stream. This is right off a whim. We have a comment on Terry. Serge, I've been inside before, lol. Yeah, it's like it's really devoid of character. It has no personality. A lot of these halls that used to have some sort of personality, they stripped it away. It's so plain. It's like the inside of a Taco Bell now. Like if you look at the old Taco Bell versus now, it's so corporate. There's no life, there's no love, there's no, compared to any other church that you might go to, there's actually character and personality and actual something to do. But the Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Halls, they're so boring. The library's in the back. If you want to use it, you have to ask an elder. There's the back room, and then there's the literature area, and then it's just like the in and out in the bathrooms. Like there's nothing there. So for those of you watching, we're live on the YouTube and on the TikTok. So that's why we have a couple comments, although the TikTokers can't really see the YouTube video.
It's a place where Bible study programs and lectures are held each week.
The first time I attended a meeting, I felt very happy. The atmosphere was so good.
That whole feeling of like, let me lower this. That whole feeling of feeling happy and good at a meeting is part of the love bombing. So witnesses, when you first go to the meeting, they're so encouraging and they're so happy to see you there. I was part of that love bombing too. I remember people would come to the memorial and I would like shake their hand and be so happy and thankful and try to appear cheery. This like, the new personality, a fake personality that you give yourself to others. That way you can leave like a good example so they can want to come back. Terry says, I feel like every kingdom hall has the same layout. It does. It does. It's very much every kingdom hall is the same. Even in other countries, they have the same idea, same concept. There's no personality. It's very corporate, super corporate. Esther says on YouTube, it was weird when JW say we're growing, yet there's only 40 people at the meeting. Yeah, it's true because the numbers are dwindling. They're selling off halls because there's not the attendance isn't there. That way they can make money and do more investments on properties. So they're stripping away the life from these meetings, and then the people there are suffering because of it, and then the numbers are showing for it. So meetings are not a fun place to be. They're boring. They're devoid of any sort of personality. I think that love bombing is one of the major points of attraction for people. Like that's one of the reasons they go to meetings is because they might be getting sort of confirmation of, oh, here's a loving people that I'm not used to. Maybe they don't get that at home. Maybe they don't get that from their workplace. Maybe they have depression or worries or problems. A reassuring voice coming from a religious background, from people using like the Bible to get to you, that can be very attractive to people, especially those who are lonely essentially. So the love bombing really adds to it. Terry says it's typically the same routine daily. Correct me if I'm wrong. It is the same routine when it comes to like the meetings. Like there's every Kingdom Hall, every Jehovah's Witness Kingdom Hall has the same thing. They have the same routines. So Wednesday you have your midweek meeting, your Sunday meeting, and then your preaching, which is Saturday, and then the assemblies and conventions and all that. So it's all the same. It's all universal. There's no room for any sort of difference. It's just cookie cutter. Everything's the same. It just says the fake smiles, greetings, and compliments. Yeah, and I'm guilty of doing that too. I've reflected a lot on my history and the things I did for the organization, thinking that I was doing what was best, thinking that I was pursuing spiritual goals, helping people, when in reality I was just doing more harm than good. And that's something that you grow to learn after you leave the organization. You fully believe in it. You're taught something your whole life for a long time, so you view it as normal. You don't think it's creepy or weird that you're coming up to people so happy, like, hey, welcome to the meeting. Is this your first time? Like, if you go to a church, they don't do that. It's not because they're not loving, it's because they're normal people. Don't go to another church expecting them to act like Jehovah's Witnesses, because Jehovah's Witnesses are robots and regular people who go to regular churches, they are not robots typically. Let's keep watching this video.
Never seen anything like it anywhere else.
Oh, she's right about that. You don't see anything like it anywhere else. That's one accurate statement.
The people are loving, orderly, and show an interest in people.
The reason they show an interest in people is because they want you to come join. They wouldn't have that interest in people if you had no interest in joining the religion. So, like, for example, if you have a door-to-door salesman knock on your door and you welcome them in the door, they're going to be like the nicest people to you. They're selling this product and they know that if they're nice to you, you already opened the door. If you're nice to them, then that's their in. Then a person who's nice to somebody who is susceptible to that, they will be able to fall into that trick. In Spanish is trampa, so I almost said something else, but it's trick in English. Terry says, my younger sisters are still dealing with the meetings and whatnot due to their mother. Yeah, there's a lot of people. That's not an isolated incident. There's probably thousands or hundreds of thousands of of people, witnesses, ex-witnesses, or current witnesses rather, that are in the religion not because they believe in it or have a vested interest in it. Rather, it's because of the family members that keep them in a chokehold. They're scared to lose their family. They're scared to lose their sense of security because they've known this their whole lives. It's an endless cycle, a vicious cycle. You have to keep going in the hamster wheel. And I felt like that too. I was scared of losing my parents. Although I'm blessed to have had parents that said that, Sergio, even if you leave the religion, I would still talk to you. We just would have a change in dynamics. Like we would have to change a little bit. And I was scared for that. Even that was too much for me. I couldn't bear the thought of losing my family because my family is like so nice, and so I'm so blessed to have a good family, and have that backing. I'm so lucky that they all left with me. None of them stayed. None of my direct family. Terry says, I feel like you've had all this bottled up for years to express. Yeah, you know me personally. You know that that it was hard for me because I would compensate in my head things. So, for example, Jehovah's Witnesses are not involved in politics. They disagree with so many things like transgenderism, homosexuality, um, the blood doctrine. And I would always, like, in my head, kind of compensate and have my own version of that. So I would say, well, Jehovah, he is like, he doesn't approve of gay people, but he still loves them, and maybe they would have a chance in the paradise because Jehovah would read hearts. Well, the Jehovah's Witness literature does not say that Jehovah read hearts. Now they say something like that because of all the new light, which for those watching, new light is, when the Jehovah's Witnesses change their beliefs essentially. Now they say that, but before they didn't. So the thought was, oh, gay people, they would die in Armageddon if they had a chance to learn the truth, the religion, the truth. So I never believed that. I always believed maybe there's a way that they'll go into paradise because they're still good people. They're still, like, just because of their sexual orientation or their gender or wherever they fall in that spectrum, like, just because of that doesn't mean that God would, like, destroy them in Armageddon, which is a nice way of putting it. I feel like you've had your parents are amazing for having that mindset to allow you to be your true self. To think I used to go to Kingdom Hall meetings so long ago. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Imagine going to a Kingdom Hall now, like seeing that different world. You know that they have beards now and they're wearing slacks, and brothers don't have to wear ties unless they have assignments, and they can talk to this fellowship people members, but only encouraging them. So there's so many changes. It's hard to keep up. Yeah, that's crazy, Terry. There's a lot of tea. And I'm up to date on a lot of it because I'm in this spectrum and the Jehovah's Witness spectrum, the XJW stuff. Let's keep watching this stuff.
Every meeting is open to the public.
It's open to the public, but there's so many caveats. So you can't be openly, like, you can't be an open witness, like, who's gay. You can't be openly transgender witness. It's open to the public, sure, but there's so many caveats. Like, and before there was even more. You had to wear a tie if you wanted to give an assignment. You had to be in certain standing. If you're disfellowshipped, you have to sit in the back, which I still think is still the case, even though they would deny it because there's nothing in the literature that says you have to sit in the back. That's just like the accepted way to do it. There's so many caveats. Not everybody is allowed. Like me in my current state, being a known apostate, I wouldn't be allowed to go to a meeting, or I would at least, like, I would be stopped and have somebody sitting next to me or something, like an elder, because they probably think I'm going to disrupt the meeting, because that is what they think apostates do. They're taught that apostates, that people who've left the religion and have beef with it, it's because we want to get them out of there. Yeah, sure, I want them out of there, but not because I want to deceive them or I want to trick them. No, I want them out of there so they can have true freedom that they don't have. The same shackles that I had, I want to free them from. I'm trying to do them good, by doing this kind of stuff. And sure, I only do it every now and then, but I feel very grateful for the people that I do have in my circles, for the YouTubers who are with me and who've been there and done that. I'm very grateful for that, and it's so much better on this side. Words can't describe how much of a better place I'm in now than I was then as a witness. Terry says, imagine how I felt going and living the lifestyle I am. I was told I had bad omens. Yeah, witnesses have a lot of superstitions, surprisingly. Witnesses believe that if you go to a yard sale and you buy something from a yard sale, it could be possessed by demons. Now, there's like nothing to back that up scripturally, right? There's nothing to say if you get something from a yard sale, there's demons from that owner. But witnesses believe stuff like that. Witnesses believe in spiritism. And I knew witnesses that believed in like ghosts and that demon things were like demon possessed. Like literally nothing in scripture was like that. So they could believe that you are just like the manifestation of something demonic. That if you're gay, or if you have a certain lifestyle, they would say that's because you are like influenced by demons or the system of things, which in turn is controlled by Satan, the demons. So, you're influenced by the devil. Imagine how my lifestyle was. Bad omens. Yeah, that was me. It's terrible. We have Este commenting, I faded 18 years ago. Wearing slacks and quinoa would be weird for me. The influence of apostates is strong, and the watchtower is very rare. Yeah, I agree. I think that we're here to stay, and we have a lot to say, and that rhymes, surprisingly. But the more people come out of this religion, the more people open their eyes to how deceitful it is, this organization, how harmful it is, how it appears so nice to the public. Like this video, it's so whitewashed. It looks so clean. It's like it reminds me of a corporate video you would have to why you should join this business or why you should become a consumer of some product, because it looks so nice and clean. But when you're actually a witness, after that nice period of the love bombing, immediately goes down. As soon as you dip your head all the way, you get submerged into the water, like it's a done deal. It's no longer like that. People judge you even before that. People judge you based off of how you look, how you wear, how you talk, the things you say, your media, the things you consume. Everything is subject to judging. And sure, there's nothing in literature that says it, but necessarily that says to do that. But it is just the culture of being a Jehovah's Witness that is accepted, because they do control, not just from the top, not just from the governing body, but it trickles down all the way down to the elders, and then the elders' wives, and then the pioneers, and then the publishers. Everybody has an eye on you. Terry says, I'm so very proud of you. I can only say you're a survivor knowing what I know. I can only say you're a survivor knowing what I know. Yeah, I think that we all are. We have all gone through things. We all have our own stories, and it's just important to get your voice out there, So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to at least put in my my 10 cents,
Seats are free and no collections are ever taken.
No collections. I'm sorry. I haven't even gotten halfway through this video. I've been rambling. I'm a yapper. But no collections are taken. And that's another big caveat, because sure, they don't pass around a hat or pass around a metal bowl. Sure, they don't do that. And there's no I forget the words, but you give 20% of your income. There's none of that. Excuse me. But I remember clearly, like 10, 15 years ago, the congregation made an arrangement that we had to donate a certain amount per each publisher. So I think it was depending on like the total expenditures divided by the amount of publishers plus an extra amount that they were going to donate. They did some some Jehovah's Witness math. You ever heard of girl math? Well, this is JW math. And they said, as a congregation, okay, we are all going to donate like $15, something like that, per publisher, all in agreement. And we raised our hand, and then of course everybody raised their hand, because it wasn't really up to the publishers. The publishers were always going to say yes. If they said no, it was still going to say yes. I don't think there's ever been. I would love to hear a story of like a congregation saying no to an elder arrangement that that affects the congregation. I don't think I've ever heard of one, because that's so rare. Terry says, well, I'm packing here and there, but had to come and say, hey, have a good night, Serge. You too. Thank you, Terry. Love you. Sending lots of love your way. Take care. And then I'm always here if you want to chat. It says, I was always looking over my shoulders. Everything's policed. Voluntary donations is encouraged. Yeah, they are. So it's like they're almost forcing you, but they're not forcing you. They're really, really telling you. They're guilt tripping you into donating, essentially.
Families are invited to attend and learn together. All meetings begin and end with song and prayer.
Not just any song, and not just any sort of prayer. No, it's a very curated song from their boring ass book. There's songs that are so culty. They're all the same thing. They even take out Jehovah and replace it with governing body. There's even an instance, I can't remember what it was, but one of the songs said something about sisters singing with men or something, and they changed it. They lessened the position of like sisters in the organization. The songs that the Jehovah's Witnesses have are like the worst songs. They're so culty and boring. We should just do that video of just like listening to the songs, actually looking at the lyrics. And one of my older videos, I did that, where I like listened to one of those Caleb and Sophia songs, like those kid ones, and just went through it word by word, because it was super, super culty.
One meeting, usually held on the weekend, includes a 30-minute Bible discourse especially designed for the general public.
It's funny that I remember growing up, the public discourse, maybe you remember, or somebody in the chat, or Este or somebody, but wasn't the public discourse 1 hour, or was it 45 minutes? Because now it's only 30 minutes. I remember giving that 30 minutes. I wasn't old enough to have given one like longer than that, but I remember giving a 30-minute talk in both English and Spanish, and I just could not wait to get to, like, we started at 11, and then the song was at 11:02, to get to like 11:30, 11:35. Oh my gosh. I just was like, oh, the time's not fast enough. The guide they give you is like exactly what you have to say. But if you just said the words that were on the page, it was 50 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I remember it was longer than that. And then someone on the chat says, the talk on Sundays was 45 minutes to an hour on average when I was younger. Yeah, so like 50 minutes. So it's perfect. Thank you. I appreciate you. So I remember them being way longer, and they're shorter now. But if you follow the bullet points on, I forget what that's called, but like on the talk guide outline, it was like, it was not enough, but it was exactly what you had to say. So you would have to take your own, you have to spin it into a way where it sounds like it's coming from you. So if it said like Noah built the ark, let's just say, for example, you can just say Noah built the ark, and then here's Genesis 6, whatever. You'd have to say, well, now Jehovah, he gave Noah this assignment, and this assignment was a very special one. And you see, even with me just doing that one little, I get so giddy because I remember, and it's like, I get so giddy because I remember that cadence. It's like, it's the very curated cadence of ba 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 ba, the way Jehovah's Witnesses talk and explain things. So you had to take your own spin on it, and it's like so far-fetched. It's so out there, and it's so boring. there's no personality in it. I remember just appreciating any elder, any brother, any ministerial servant who came to our hall with some sort of personality. I remember there was one brother who came from another town one time, and he gave an assignment, and this was like, probably like 15 years ago, 16 years ago. Oh, it might have been more. Either way, he gave an assignment that was talking about like how the Bible proves science. And you might remember that outline, somebody in the chat, because it was one that was not used very often. I hadn't heard that one. And he even talked about like how atoms and like the cells and the nucleus and how it works, kind of. Science is not my strong suit, as you can tell. But he talked about how it worked and how this shows Jehovah that creation and science proves that Jehovah exists, and how Jehovah clearly made these things because it's so perfectly curated and perfectly organized in such a way. And he actually did that talk, I remember, with a lot of grace, and it was so like he was so into it. You could tell he liked it. You did not get brothers like that giving talks. Most of the time, you get some really bad uh what is it called, like discursos, like people giving assignments, like the elders and the ministerial servants. They are really bad. They need some training on public speaking. So you have bad public speakers. That's what it is. I always tried to put in a little bit of effort into my public talks and put in some personality, but I'm sure I came off as a robot, just like everybody did. Who am I kidding? I'm just one in the mold, you know. Yeah, but very boring talks. Yeah, talks are so boring. It's so funny because the last memorial I went to, it was the Dominican brother. And if you know Dominicans, the way they speak Spanish is usually like very characteristics, like oh whoa whoa. That's they talk with a lot of charisma. But this brother, man, he butchered that talk. I was like, I could have done a better job because he was just like going off on tangents and just talking about, I don't even know what he was talking about. He was talking weird stuff. And I was like, wow, what a note to leave this on, because soon after that, I left the religion. That was it. Hey, Ruby's in the chat. Yo, what's up? If you want to join, I'll send you the link. I can send you the link. You don't have to if you're busy. But we were just talking about this video.
After that,
the what happens at a Kingdom Hall. So that's like a very, very ironic video to watch now that we no longer go to the Kingdom Hall. But hey, welcome to Jack. Good evening. Let me know if you wanna join. Man, I lost my train of thought. But either way, giving public talks was an ordeal, and I'm so glad I no longer have to do that anymore. It really, really sucked. And he butchered the. Let me know. Put my wig on. Okay, I'll send it to you. Hey, sorry, y'all. This will be just a second. Technology is not my strong suit sometimes. Let me send this link to Ruby. Yeah, I'm gonna stop my camera for just a second. I don't want to look like I'm doing something crazy. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I figured it out. Yeah. Break time. That's right. Time to drink your Kroger brand LaCroix. Cheers. Some comments were filtered. Really? On the TikTok? What comment was filtered? Weird. Well, anyways, there's lots of examples I can think of brothers giving just horrible talks, like butchering. There was one talk I'll never forget. It's one of my chapters of my life of put on your way. Yeah, take your time. Oh, here's Ruby. Hey, Ruby.
Hey,
How's it going?
good. How are you?
Doing good. Good to see you. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God.
Well,
I've been watching everybody's videos and catching up with everything. I haven't even been doing anything.
yeah, I've been sorry, your internet is a little laggy. I've been doing just like I haven't been doing too many videos, just here and there. Uh just kind of spreading it out.
Okay, so what you doing now?
We're watching
Creative
you're
change.
watching the what happens at a Kingdom Hall video. Do you remember that?
I didn't see that. No.
Well, it's an older video. It's like one that you would show a Bible study after a few like Bible studies, like visits. You would show them like, "Oh, look, you're wondering what happens at a Kingdom Hall? Like this is what it's like."
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so we'll keep watching. I'm already like halfway through, but like I keep interrupting it cuz I get lost in tangents.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, Este says I was always zoned out during talks. I feel that.
I fell asleep
Did
in
you
my baptism talk.
No, really? How boring was it?
Yep. Exactly. I don't even remember it. All I remember was sitting at the front two rows. And then as soon as I sat down, I knocked out for the entire 30-minute talk. And I was waking up as they were standing up to answer the two questions. It was embarrassing.
Wow. It's like someone's like nudging you like, "Wake up."
Yeah. I was a
That's
10-year-old
so
little girl
funny.
and it was a bunch of other adults and it was like they were trying to help me like, "Oh, go this way, go this way." Like nudging me because I was like, ugh, it was embarrassing. It was crazy.
That's hilarious. I was so nervous. I couldn't even imagine sleeping during it, but it was they're all the same. Every baptism talk's the exact same.
Yeah, I was nervous too. That's why I woke up like like I woke up so scared because I was like, "Yo, how do you fall asleep?" I was dead and the only reason why I woke up was because I was dreaming that I remembered in my dream that I forgot to get clothes for after my baptism. So I had no underwear, no dress, no shirt, no towel, nothing. I just went up there like if I'm gonna get baptized and come out dry.
Oh gosh. That's a wreck. That's a mess.
Yep,
What?
and my mom had to go outside and literally go shopping while the talk was being like finishing up. She had to buy me last minute things for and I was already walking in and she's running with a plastic bag like, "I got to give this to her." It was a mess. It was chaotic. It
Wow.
was a mess and I was like, That should have been my sign that I'm not ready." But it's like, you don't think about those things.
That's that's wild. I can't even imagine your poor mom. But what year did you get baptized?
2007?
2007. Oh shoot. Hang on. What year did I get baptized? I got baptized close to that. I got baptized
Really?
2009. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, young.
Yeah, I got
You
baptized. So
Yeah,
how
because we're the
old are
same
you?
age. 27.
You're two. Oh. Oh, yeah. Wow, yeah. I'm
Yeah, I
about to
was
turn 28. Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, we're the same age, aren't we? Or are you a little younger than me?
Well, my birthday's in May. When is yours?
September.
Okay. So, I guess I'm a
Yeah,
little
okay.
older.
Yeah, just a little bit. But hey, that's cool. But yeah, like I got baptized so young, and I remember thinking at the time, like I'm doing what is right and all this. But in reality, I was just like, why not? Like my everybody I know is getting baptized. They all got baptized around that time. So I was like, yeah, why not?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was getting baptized because we were going to move to Florida. So my mom said, before we move, you should get baptized here because,
Hmm.
the elders already know you since you were a little girl and it'll be a faster process. And, that was around the same time she put me in virtual school. So it was literally like a whole life new chapter, like change. You get baptized, you moved, and you started homeschooling. It was like so many changes in 1 year. Like everything changed.
Yeah, that's way too much to process in such a short period.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what is baptism? Just making you, slave to the cult, really.
Right. Like I talked about in my other video, it was like you don't realize that once you got baptized, it was like you're done being a child. You can't make mistakes. You have to be
Hmm.
perfect, literally. And if your mother or father is an elder or a pioneer, because she was always a pioneer, I had to be the modeled JW child for all the other children. So you can't
Hmm.
have fun with the regular kids because you were the baptized one. So you got to be the example. And it was only because I was baptized. I didn't know that. I was just living my regular life because that's how she normalized it so much that it was just my childhood. I didn't realize how different it was for them. And I'm thinking this is normal. Like you're supposed to live like this. You're not supposed to lie. You're supposed to dress this way. Like there's no problem with it. Like
Hmm.
why aren't you guys doing it?
Yeah, like if that's what you're brought up to believe, you would never know any different. That's
Yeah,
why everything in the Jehovah's
exactly.
Witness religion is so normal to us. Well, was so normal to us because that's just what you're taught your whole life.
Yeah. The only thing is that you get privileges, you get perks because now that you're baptized, you can actually sign up to auxiliary pioneer, regular pioneer, do the regional
Hmm.
building committee, do the cleaning stuff, do everything. So if she signed up, I signed up. It wasn't because I wanted to, it was because we were doing it together. Like she was the one who did it. So I had to do it. So I was always auxiliary pioneering as a minor, doing a bunch of stuff that everybody else wasn't doing because they were children who were in school.
And you were right there with them, just baptized, essentially. I mean, in reality.
Exactly. I was like a little adult because I'm
Yeah.
always in adult conversations, always in adult situations and doing what the adults are doing. So I became one of the girlfriends in the group, like all this emotional baggage and there's a little kid listening to your conversation right there and it was like nobody saw a problem with that. So I had to grow up emotionally quickly. So by the time I was a teenager, I was already conversing with women about relationships and stuff and kids and they wanted me to hang out with their kids. I was the exemplary, girl in the whole.
Yeah. You were the good example for them to follow.
And the good association. So they wanted me to hang out with them because they know hanging out with me means they're not gonna do bad stuff with me, obviously. But
Yeah.
that's not a good friendship either because you're always being polite with your friend. Like that's not a friendship. Like what's that? I'm not watching people.
You're a babysitter at that point.
Absolutely not. I was like, I'm not doing this. So if I'm gonna be with my friend, which is why I only had one friend, I told my mother, don't tell me what to tell her. Don't tell me like literally the elder's wife and my mom, they were like glue. And she was always like, oh, tell her to pull her shirt up. She's showing her cleavage, or tell her to pull her skirt down. And I'm like, I'm not her mother. Leave me alone. I'm her friend. I'm not gonna tell her what she could wear, what she can't wear, what she could look like, to do her hair this way. And they were like, oh, but you're her friend, yada yada. And I'm like, no, no. So it was disgusting. Like,
Yeah,
horrible.
that's a good way to ruin the kid's life.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, let's watch this video then. What
There's a
happened?
question.
Okay, and we're at the, what was it? Like public talks. That's what it was. But it's only like 1 minute left. It's short.
After that, there's a question and answer discussion based on an article in the study edition of the Watchtower magazine.
Now, Ruby, let me ask you a question. Can you just
Yeah.
say when they do the question and answers? Can you just say any answer?
Any answer? What you mean? Like, you want me to answer for real?
Yeah, like I'm saying during a meeting when they do like a watchtower, can you just say any if they ask a question, can you just come up with your own answer, or is it or what kind of answer can you say?
I don't know what you mean. In video?
It had to be exactly what the watchtower said. You couldn't just come up with your own.
Oh, no, no. My mother was not that type. She was like, you need to do research in the library and you need to come up with your own answer. So I had to do the in-depth, and if I had to recite my source, I would be like, oh, the index book on the whatever. Like you had to do deep research. That's how fanatical my mom was.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you went the extra mile, but in reality,
Yeah.
you were still giving them the answer they wanted. You were giving, it's like the confirmation bias. You were giving, they had a question and the answer already. The Watchtower says it. You were just getting to that point.
Right.
So when a worldly person goes to a meeting, a worldly, right?
Mm-hmm.
In quotations, they go to a Jehovah's Witness
Mm-hmm.
meeting, and they're like, they're seeing these people doing questions and answers like we're in school, and you're looking at a history textbook saying what the teacher wants. That's not a Bible study. That's why they don't call it Bible study. It's literally a Watchtower study. You're studying what they want you to know.
Right, but that's why you're supposed, when you do it at home in your family study, you're supposed to do the in-depth study, and you're supposed to look up stuff that's not just in the Watchtower. That's why I was so upset when they simplified the Watchtowers, because I was like, what is this? This is like for babies. This is like kindergarten. And then they had like the both of them. They had like the regular Watchtowers, and then they had the simplified version.
Oh, yeah.
My mom would never do the simplified version. We will always take the hard ones. Like, so even if they were loosening the stuff for other people, not my mother. She was like a JW scholar. She was like, nope, we're gonna open up the books. And we had to really, I'm telling you, she was
That's
crazy.
ratchet. I would never. She was way too much. She was extra
paperwork, the online stuff, the CD-ROMs, the cassettes, anything, the dramas. When the movies came out, forget about it. We had to watch those every day over and over and over and over, and we had to practice all of the songs in the song book like over and over and over. We were like perfecting notes. We were perfecting our voices, the comments. It was crazy. And that's why she would get so upset when I wouldn't raise my hand, because we did all this work and you're not going to raise your hand to answer. So it would, that's how I would fight. I'm like, I'm not going to raise my hand. No. And then I would just I would just sit there like that.
you see,
yeah, it was horrible.
It's to set it right. Sorry, Ruby, but that's crazy. That's true. That's just too much. I can't I can't even.
I know. Yeah, that's why whenever I do my interviews, I always ask the question on a scale to 1 to 10, how like devout were you? Because to me, I was 1,000. So anybody who wasn't doing the level that my mom was doing, you're spiritually weak. It's like, okay, you don't even know anything. You need to open up your Bible. And then people knew that about my mom, and they would want her to study with their kids. So we would do group studies in my house, and all my friends would come over to study the Bible, like not to hang out, not to do parties, not to do anything. We would have parties in their house. They were coming to my house to do my mother word for. And like she would have my mom study with her daughter, my cousin. And it was like my life 2.0 for my cousin. She hated it. She hated it because that's your aunt, and you can't even have a family relationship because it's your aunt for shoving this.
Ruby.
Yeah.
Ruby, your internet is like really breaking up.
Damn. All right. If it kicks me out, then I guess I'm kicked out.
I'm sorry. I lost you at like your cousin, but like it was really breaking up.
Damn. All right. I'll just wait. Go ahead. Continue. I'll just wait till it comes back.
I'm sorry. Your internet is so bad.
Okay. I'll come back.
Okay. No worries. Just no worries. Let's keep watching this video.
Participation is always voluntary.
At one of the meetings during the week, we not only study the Bible, but also...
Wait a minute. How is partition voluntary if you, when you don't comment, like an elder tells you like, hey, I would like to hear your comment. Like I remember after the meetings, being pressured by like an elder or something like, brother, they would put, if you hadn't commented in a few meetings, especially in the Spanish congregation where they want you to appear more active, they would come up and be like, hey, Sergio, we haven't seen you raise your hand in a few meetings. Your comments encourage the brothers, so this and that. Oh, hang on. Oh, it looked like there was like two of you, like with the old one you clicked on and this one.
Oh my goodness, I hate this. Am I better now?
Yeah, oh my gosh, it's like night and day. It's like way better.
Jesus Christ. As soon as I'm getting good, the internet always goes out.
Don't worry, I get that. It's totally fine. This part, it was talking about how comments are voluntary, but you get an earful if you don't comment for a few meetings, or if you're, I remember there was an elder. It always goes back to the Spanish congregation because that's where it was like way stricter. The elder was like, brothers, raise your hand. No one's commenting, so he'd be like, hermanos, alguien contesta. He would say something like that, like someone needs to answer, like straight up,
Yeah, they used to hate it. One time when I was little, I think I was like 8 or 9 years old, it was in the Kingdom Ministry when they do like the monthly review or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was the only person in the whole congregation raising my hand for every question because that's how my mother wanted me. Every question. And the brother on the stage said, brothers and sisters, are we really gonna let Ruby answer all the questions? Like, he did a shout out of my name and like totally humiliated me and embarrassed me. And everybody started like chuckling, and then like a few hands started going up slowly. But I was too young to understand that he wasn't, insulting me. He was just trying to have the adults like participate. But to me, I was so offended. My hand went down, and my whole like behavior just changed. And I told my mother, did he just embarrass me? Because I was the only, like, you didn't have to say my name or anything like that. Like, that's how I felt. Like, damn, you didn't have to like say like, oh, are we gonna let a child answer every question? Like, he totally put me on the spot. And for the next few weeks, every single meeting, I was avoiding him. I was going to the other side of the Kingdom Hall. I didn't say hi to him for weeks, and my mom was dying laughing because she was like, brother so and so, Ruby felt really embarrassed by what you did. And he had to come up to me and apologize to me for doing that, because that's how zealous I was. Like, it was embarrassing that he didn't pick on me, and that's like one of the things I would never forget about the commenting and everything. From then on, I was like, I'm never gonna be humiliated ever again. I don't want to answer no more. Like, I'm stumbled. Leave me alone.
He stumbled your faith. He did. Oh god.
Yeah.
Training in public speaking.
Everyone is invited to the Christian meetings, including those who are not Jehovah's Witnesses.
You can go into any kingdom hall and receive the same program of Bible instruction.
It's funny that they say that like it's a good thing. Like, you can go to any kingdom hall and you're gonna learn the same bogus crap. And
Yeah, that's why I was laughing.
Trash.
Yep, exactly.
Like, it's a plus. Like you ever heard of variety and different personalities and new insights? We don't have that here. We give you the same thing.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
It sounds nice, but it's not. Imagine getting like the same food every day. You'd be like so tired of it. Witnesses are getting the same crap every meeting, and it's just repackaged in their ears differently. But if you dumb it down, the message in the Watchtower is like it's like all the same. It's like always the same. The informations, the brochures. There's no longer the things that we used to study. We used to study types, antitypes, how this symbolizes that, the book of Isaiah, the prophecies of Jeremiah, the book of Daniel. All that's old light. It's It's literally all about the vibes now. It's paradise this, panda that, ride on horses in the Antarctic this, you know?
Yeah, that's why they take it. That's why it's a big thing when the circuit overseer comes around, because it's like, oh, we're gonna get some new information, and you're just like staring at the guy because you want to know what he has to say, and you want to go out in service with him, and you want to have experiences with like
You
they make this a
wanted to go
whole
out in
thing.
service with the CO?
What?
You wanted to go out in service with the circuit overseer?
What? Of course.
Oh
What?
no. I
That was
hated
no,
that.
you had to make appointments to work with the circuit overseer. So when you had an appointment, you took that seriously. And my mom signed up to have him come over for lunch and everything. She cooked, she cleaned, we did the whole service thing. I went out in service with his wife. Like it was a whole thing.
That's just I hated being guilt tripped into preaching with the CO. I remember actually I wasn't alone. There was like at the end the CO was here and like they're like, brothers, no one's scheduled to go out with the CO. We need somebody.
What? That did not happen in our halls. Sorry. And you know what was crazy is that you know how I always talk about like that congregation was like all white people. So I don't know if it was like a decision between the circuit. They switched out the white circuit overseer for a black circuit overseer, and that was the first black circuit overseer that they had in that circuit. So when he came, that was another thing because he was black, and everybody was like he it was like a swarm of people, and you could barely get an appointment with this guy. And I'm like, what's the big deal? Because we come from New York. There's black circuit overseers and elders everywhere. Like that doesn't matter. But to these people, it was a thing. There was a lot of people who didn't like that. And then there was a whole lot of people were like, oh, like the diversity thing. Oh, this is amazing. He's, him and his wife. Yeah, so it was a thing. It was filled.
That's incredibly extra for something so small.
Exactly.
Jeff Parnell says there was one CO and his wife who were legitimately regular people. Ironically, a lot of people didn't like them. I like them a lot and still think of them. I hope they woke up and made it out. I find that COs, COs are elders and pioneers that had seen a lot of stuff in different congregations. A lot of times they would come to a congregation to like change things up. And then sometimes
that's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
It's sometimes and like it feels like a plant. Like, oh, this guy is here to like pull down this elder, bring this elder up, right? Like a plant.
Exactly.
But and then some elders are just.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they didn't like it, because he was black and he was telling these white elders, what to do, and they didn't like that. But then there was like, 50% of the other people were like, this is good. We're getting a little diversity because there's always white. It was just predominantly white. So there was a lot of issues like with that. And me and my mom just completely did not relate because we were like, what's the big deal? Like,
that's a Southern
I don't
problem.
get it.
That's a very Southern problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that was like the big thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see how that is. I get that. I live in the South too.
Bible education, upbuilding association, and the opportunity to praise God await you at Christian meetings of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Upbuilding association. You know what makes me feel upbuilt when a brother judges me based off of the length of my sideburns. You know what helps? I'm sure what helps sisters feel upbuilt when they get judged on the length of their skirt or the length of their slacks, I guess now.
Oh my God. You see what I'm saying? Like that doesn't even help, because before they used to tell you about your dress and grooming. Now they're still gonna talk about your dress and grooming because you're still gonna wear slacks, and there's gonna be brothers who are boomers and be like, don't come again with those slacks.
Yeah. So they've traded off the control. So it used to just be like flat out no slacks, and they controlled that. But now they're saying slacks, but they're going to control what kind you wear and in what circumstances. You can't have an assignment with the slacks.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe in this territory you can't do it, or maybe for this reason you can't. So Yeah, it's just like the shifting of control, but they're still in control.
Stupid. That's why it's stupid. Like, what the
Yeah.
heck?
Yeah, it's so dumb.
To find a Kingdom Hall near you, please visit the About Us section and fill in the congregation meeting search.
There you go. Did you know that you can go to the JW.BORG About Us section and do the meeting search and find yourself a very, very enthusiastic brother who will help you draw closer to Jehovah.
I hate it. I hate it here. I hate it. Yo, when I called Bethel and I was talking to the guy, I was like, listen, I don't know if you don't mind me asking, but are you an elder or something? Because I'm trying to ask questions that I need to talk to an elder. So you should be able to answer these questions. And he was being so vague and like vague as hell. I'm like, yo, I'm not a fed. Like I'm trying to have a conversation with you. I've been faded. I've been inactive. I need some spiritual help. And he was like, you need to go to your local Kingdom Hall. You can go to the website and go to your local Kingdom Hall. And I was like, damn, y'all go to the website for everything? I can't have a conversation with a human being anymore? Like, the customer service is bad over here.
Yeah, it's bad customer service. That is the best way to explain it, because they're not
real.
They're not, especially when you call the help desk, the service department, whatever. They're not taught. They're not trained to find you an answer. They're trained to redirect. Everything now is redirection.
Exactly. Headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses. Okay, well, hold on. Let me transfer you to the service department. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What is this? You know, back in the day, they always used to say, oh, you can call Bethel if you need legal advice. Oh, you could call Bethel if you need this advice. Oh, if you need to make an order, you can call Bethel. Or you can walk into Bethel, and they used to have like a huge counter. I don't know if you ever been to the Bethel in Brooklyn, like before they sold it. But they used to have like a huge counter, and you could go order by the box, like back in the day. And they used to help you, not go to a freaking website. It's disgusting.
Yeah. And I want it to be clear, because I think a lot of people confuse us talking about about how it used to be. It doesn't mean we liked it. We're just saying it was different. It doesn't mean better or worse. That's completely subjective. But what we're saying is there was at least some effort put into it.
You could talk to a real human. They're not freaking robots. Like, they would have conversation with you. Like, it was a thing to associate with Bethelites. Nowadays, it's like, who are you? They're just walking by like you nothing.
Yeah, my father, he used to be the literature guy, and he would go, because we lived in Jersey, so he would go and pick up, like, in his Jeep, like, the boxes of literature and bring it to the congregation. I remember that, and he took me a couple of times. I remember there was like screens on the walls, and then there was like videos playing in the background of like documentaries and stuff.
Yeah,
it felt kind of like there was some personality.
Exactly.
They need the publishers to pick on each other, keep busy. Yeah, there was a globe in the lobby.
Exactly. Yep, I remember that. Yep.
Oh, look at this. We have a comment on the TikTok. I just woke up and am Pimo by Sharon J. Welcome to the chat, Sharon J. If you're just waking up and you're Pimo, there's so many resources. JW Facts, our YouTube channels. Just look for the information, do your research, make sure it's unbiased, and you'll find a better place. So don't lose hope. There's a better future out there. I always say that when there's somebody like questioning stuff, like, do your research, you know. They also said, when I lived in Brooklyn, our congregation would get the literature right from Brooklyn Heights. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. My uncle used to walk there all the time. Like, we used to literally go to Bethel almost weekly or monthly. Like, that was a thing. You know, it was just Bethel culture. You know what I mean? So now when I hear them, it's like bringing me back to when I was a little girl, and I'm like, what is this? And we used to take tours like all the time too. Like every other month, we used to go on tours from like people that were like international Jehovah's Witnesses would come to Manhattan, and we used to be assigned from our South Manhattan congregation to take them on tours, and we would go on lunch all the time. So I always had lunch at Bethel. We always took tours. Like I knew that place inside and out because I was always going on these damn tours. And when you see people, when you're talking to people, when you just see them working, when you're just watching them in their nature, it was completely different environment than what I'm hearing on the phone. I'm like,
Yeah.
so what are
No.
you here for? So you're an elder and you're in the service department, but you can't answer a simple question for me? Like,
It's very HR. It's very HR. It's very corporate.
I hate that. I hate that. And I'm like, oh my God, no.
Sharon also says, well, I'm out, but they don't know. But what is the truth? That's something that you have to find out on your own. What is the truth? I can tell you this, though. The Jehovah's Witnesses are not the truth. That is like evident. That part is like super obvious. Now, like whatever
Right.
you decide is the truth is completely up to like interpretation. But if you have questions and you need resources, email me at coldpizzaguy@gmail.com and or look in my bio on TikTok and there's like links there and stuff. So I can send you. Someone said, I believe the King James Version and Christianity. I mean, that's completely the fine position to take.
Sergio, can they see me on TikTok or can they hear me?
No, they can only hear you. They can't see you because there's no way to broadcast my YouTube on the TikTok. So TikTok, they're only getting like a side view of me on my iPhone.
Oh, okay. Because if they can hear me about that comment about what is truth, this is one way that I like rationalized it for myself. I said to myself, if I got the wrong version, right? Like I got the lie, there's gotta be truth. If you got one, there's always the yin and the yang. So you just have to find what is the truth about that certain subject. Because we already know what the wrong part. We already know what's wrong. So you just have to find what's right. And in my opinion, there is the real version of Christianity or Jesus Christ or whatever, and the Jehovah's Witnesses are just they're teaching a false Christ. So I was like, no, if I still want to be a Christian, I'm gonna have to find out what is the truth from the Bible and do your own research, and the Bible will reveal the answers to you. Because if there's a lie, there's a truth, there's facts.
Yeah, it's very very personal. It's very very
Right.
hard. Oh, what the heck? My live will end. Oh, I see. That's so weird. I had to verify my live. Hang on. Why do they give me this game to play to verify my live when I'm doing a live? Doesn't make any sense. Like,
But StreamYard lets you do more than one platform if you
but
bought the
not at the
thing.
same time. I think, right?
Well, I don't know if they're affiliated with TikTok, but StreamYard does let you like go on YouTube, Facebook, and like Twitter and broadcast at the same time.
I just did a Facebook page like a few days ago, but like, another profile to think about. That's so hard.
Exactly. No.
So much work. Why can't they just like go automatically? Yeah,
Exactly.
coldpizzaguy@gmail.com. Just like you have it written there all together, coldpizzaguy@gmail.com. Also, like if you need, like just go to the YouTube profile link and it's there in the description. I didn't want to do this too late because I gotta wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow, and at Central Standard Time, and it's 9:30. But anything I'm gonna post. I'm gonna post this. It's gonna be like on the channel, and I'll put your channel link in the description. Definitely check out Ruby Quinn's YouTube channel. Lots of videos, lots of a lot more involved than I am, but different dynamics.
Oh my God. No, I told you I am working around your schedule, because I am literally free all the time.
Yeah, and I only get a chance when it's like later, because even today I work today to pick up, so like I'm just like busy. But anything you want to say about like the upcoming book club or anything like that, your channel?
Did you see the intro?
I did. It was great.
Yeah.
It is really good. By the way, props to Ruby for putting so much effort a lot more effort than I put into my videos, because that was some good quality. Like the background, everything is great. So it looks excellent.
Yeah,
I was thinking about
I'm
doing
figuring it out.
my own intro, because that is just like way up there.
Get it together, Sergio. And we need to, like, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna do the intro for the book, and then the next video is gonna be us obviously talking about the book, and then the
That makes
last section is gonna be Micah coming on the stream, do like the authors thing. So at least 3 videos for each book or
Yeah.
whatever.
That's reasonable. Intro, the book, and then the author. That's like perfect. Like that rounds it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So perfect. So stay tuned for that. Keep a check. Everybody on TikTok. Ruby Quinn's channel is New Yorker Rican on YouTube. Also, you can see that it's like in my channel somewhere, but you can just look it up. I don't know how to on TikTok, but it'll be there. There's no like links you can post on TikTok. But hey, thank you for joining. I appreciate you.
Yeah, whenever, anytime.
Okay. Well, hang on. Don't leave the studio. I'm gonna end the stream, and then I'll say bye to you separately.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye, y'all. Good night. And